Hello and welcome to DDG.
Declan Dad Gaming.
I'm your dad.
I am your Declan.
And what are we here to do today?
We're reviewing
Production Line. This was a game that was released in full on Steam on the 7th of March, so only about a week ago. I purchased it not too long after that. What can you tell us about Production Line? What is the game about?
efficiency is key.
Efficiency is everything.
Efficiency is everything.
Same thing.
Okay, what do you do?
Okay, so the aim of the game is to make, well, obviously the most efficient production line of cars as possible, right? And you get to add little features to those cars and compete with other businesses, which you don't actually get to see in the game, but they're just, there. The game is very much about trial and error. You have to sort of see what kind of production line works, and then you're like, crap, I screwed up, and you gotta, delete everything, then restart and rebuild everything again in a more efficient manner.
Yeah, so the core of the game, really, you're a, for lack of a better term, production manager slash production engineer, I guess you'd say. So your role within the company of Production Line is to design and lay out and run a production line producing cars. You do have some input into the design of the cars. When we're talking about that, we're talking features and whatnot, what's included with the car, what the price point of the car is. So you're sort of sales manager as well in a roundabout kind of way.
Yeah, I do wish in this game they would include more of a sort of customization of the cars so that you can make them look, ridiculous, and then label it as like a luxury vehicle.
I've got my trusty notes with me to help us out because this is the first game review we've ever done, so this is pretty exciting. So, intro to the game. A couple of dot points that I've put out here. So, intro to the game, I would say, was well laid out. Some frustrations at first in navigating the menu, but they're easily overcome. There's a tutorial that's inbuilt with the game, and it's easy to follow. It's extremely easy to read. There's a couple of things that I thought were maybe sort of poorly explained, but you navigate your way through that. And really, they're probably not poorly explained. They're just
Hard to understand.
I think I'm just lazy.
Yeah, okay.
Because the answer was probably there right in front of me the entire time, and I didn't take the time to read the tutorial properly. But that's just a minor gripe that I have, and probably showing my age.
I didn't read the tutorial at all.
There you go. There is sort of there is a learning curve there. It's reasonably steep at first, I thought, but tapers off pretty quickly. Once you read a few of those tutorials, you sort of get the gist of how the game actually works. In the options menu, it's pretty bare bones what you'd expect for a game like this. There wasn't a terrible amount of options. You can change the volume, the audio, and resolution. That's pretty much it.
You wouldn't be asking for much more from a game like that anyway.
No, if you're familiar with titles similar to this, there's not much in the way of tweaking the settings. It's not a graphically intense game by any stretch of the imagination.
True dat, yo.
True dat. What did you think of the music?
Music a bit repetitive, but you can turn it down in the settings and everything. So overall, it wasn't that bad. If you're not a fan, just turn it down.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did. I wouldn't say the music was bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it does get repetitive after a while. Although it does change, and when you zoom in to the production line, you hear less of the music. That fades out, and you hear more of the production line, which can also be very repetitive. But that's so sound. What did you think of that?
It was decent. It reminded me very much of games such as like Roller Coaster Tycoon. Because when you zoom out, you hear the music, and then when you zoom in, you hear all these people talking and background noise and stuff. So yeah, pretty standard.
Yeah, I put it again for the genre. Don't expect anything special. You shouldn't be. There's certainly nothing wrong with it. It does the job just fine. There's just nothing special about it. Graphics.
They were alright. For a game like that, you wouldn't be really expecting much or needing much. For that matter, but it was alright. If you were expecting more, then you shouldn't go for a game like that because you're not really going to get very far. So.
Yeah, I agree. The game is not about the graphics. I think it's pretty well graphically represented. It's certainly not intricate. You know, there's not a whole lot of detail to the processes that are taking place within your production line. But at the same time, it certainly fits the function. Performance.
I didn't exactly have a frames per second counter in the corner of my screen, but from what I could tell, it was, you know, decent. You wouldn't really be expecting much out of a game like that. Again, you know, it's not really required, if you ask me.
Yeah, the system requirements they've got listed here: Intel i5, 1.6 gigahertz, so you know, a mobility platform, and it'll run on the HD Intel 3000 graphics. So it'll basically run on anything, from what I can gather. With our systems, we obviously didn't have any real issue at all, but basically speaking, if you've got a computer, it will likely run. What about stability?
I didn't run into any issues in my gameplay, but Dad's played for how many hours now?
So I've put 12 hours into it, and I've had one crash. That's it. Everything else seems to be fine. I'm not sure what the crash was about. I don't know whether it was a game or whether it was simply my computer. It was only the game that crashed, but yeah, not sure. Either way, I'd say it's extremely stable, aside from that one crash that I've had. Who do you reckon the game would appeal to?
Well, again, mentioning Roller Coaster Tycoon in this, it would generally, people who play those sort of games, where like those business simulator kind of games, where you have control over everything, sometimes you have a budget. But yeah, for fans of Roller Coaster Tycoon and maybe older titles like SimCity or Cities Skylines, which isn't actually that old, but yeah, it'd be good. Well
Yeah,
suited.
I likened it to pretty much the same crowd. I've got references here from Roller Coaster Tycoon. If you're as old as me or older, Transport Tycoon Deluxe, and probably same age bracket, Theme Hospital as well. So really, it's all about management. To a certain degree, micromanagement as well, but a lot of it is layout and management. So I've got a couple of notes here that I wanted to touch on as well. So motto of the story, or what is it basically? Production line does not disguise the fact that it's very much focused on efficiency. If you've watched the video, promo video for production line, they certainly outline that fact. So everything you do is based around efficiency, from supply of raw materials to the timing of each individual or bulk processes. Secondary is the car manufacturing and marketing side. Expecting to have a deep experience in design and realistic pricing per car for sales is not what this is about. So the car manufacturing side of it is very much a secondary thing. It's not really the primary focus of it at all. It's all about laying out your production line. So you could almost replace it with anything, manufacturing toasters or whatever.
Oh yeah, toasters, they're my favourite.
Okay, probably a bad example, but you get the gist. So if you're purchasing this game because of the car side of things, I would say you're probably making the wrong kind of purchase. You need to be looking at this as very much a management type of game, and the cars are just sort of a fun additive. Yeah. Also, I did note that the promo video itself I thought was really cool. Not that that's really part of the game, but it did make me laugh. I thought that was really well done. What would have been good, I thought, would be if there was a voice tutorial as you're going along with the same guy who does the video for the actual promo. I thought that'd be quite entertaining.
Our aim is to optimize our factories to make the best, most high-technology vehicles the world has seen and turn a tidy profit at the same time.
As far as value is concerned, the game is relatively expensive. I paid $35.95 Australian. I don't know what that equates to in other currencies or what they've got it on sale for in other currencies, but here in Australia that's probably middle of the road for a full title. So normally I would expect to see a game like this a fair bit cheaper, to be honest. However, in saying that, I have played for roughly 12 hours. and I suspect I will probably play quite a bit more. And if I end up cracking the 36 hours in the game, then I'm already returning less than $1 per hour spent. So I would say, in the grand scheme of things, value for money is actually pretty good. If you're well into your management games and simulations of that sort of caliber, then I think you'd get a good return on investment when spending your cash on this game. Of course, if you can pick it up on special, it's definitely worth it.
In my opinion,
In Declan's opinion, he has not paid for the game.
yeah, in my opinion, not really a game that I would recommend paying $35 for, like my dad said. In my personal opinion, I think for $35 you'd be expecting a bit more to do than, well, in the game you make it, and then you sit back and you're proud of it, you know, and you watch what's going on, you watch yourself earn money and stuff, but eventually you have to sort of go and upgrade your car or whatever every once in a while. That's pretty much.
You do need to stay market relevant, so you have to revisit the production line to ensure that these things are implemented and those stages are efficient. So yeah, on the value side, me personally, I think even at full price, I'm definitely getting good value for money. But not everyone's going to be in the same boat when it comes to that. Some people might only play it for 10 hours and then put it down and never touch it again. I don't think I'm going to be one of those people. And if you're one of those people that are into the real tweaking a production line type thing, or like City Skylines is a good example with, if you've ever played it, with roads, you know, traffic management, so to speak. Similar to that. So if you enjoy tweaking that kind of thing and getting into the nitty gritty of that kind of thing, then it's probably going to be worth your money. If not, and you're just going to be sort of a casual player, definitely pick it up at a discount price. Full price is probably not worth it. Conclusion.
Conclusion.
Lead the way.
Alright. In conclusion, for some people this game may have a decent value in terms of gameplay against price, but you know, for me, I think I'd just prefer to spend that $35 on a more complicated and involved. Well, not that this game's not involved, it's just not the kind of involvement that I would prefer in a game. But yeah, you know, if you can pick it up for a nice discount, then, you know, why not?
We haven't really figured out a scale as to how to rate games yet, because you know, everyone's different. It's a subjective experience, but we'll make a simple one. What do you reckon? Is it a thumbs up, thumbs sideways for neutral, or thumbs down? What do you reckon?
2.
I don't know what that is. I'm guessing that's neutral, considering I only gave 3 options. Okay, so Declan's giving it like a sideways thumb. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I really enjoy the game, and I'm definitely going to play it some more. And that pretty much wraps it up. I don't know if there's anything more that we can say about that.
Not that I can think of.
If you are into at least looking at the development of it, Cliff Harris on YouTube, I believe he's the developer of the game. And he's got a lot of information on the game, a lot of the development on the game. I think he was up to 99 videos the last time I had a look. So there's a lot of content to check out there, and I learned a thing or two about the game that I otherwise wouldn't have discovered just by watching this video. So that's definitely worth a check out if you're into it.
I'll tell you what, 99 is a fair amount of videos, considering we only have, 4 as
Well,
of now.
including this one, yeah.
Yeah. Good job, whatever his name was.
Cliff Harris.
Cliff Harris.
Check him out. He
Or
is
don't.
good. Anyway, I think that wraps it up.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you for the next video.
Or not.
Or not.
Yep. Not.